Okay, so we got General Alexander versus General Granger, but I can't build any units. So that means I'm not building any units from the Command Center, Supply Center, Barracks, War Factory, or Airfield. Rangers that spawn from destroyed US buildings, as well as Ranger drops from General Promotion, are allowed. And Chinooks that spawn from newly constructed supply centers are also allowed. Now the dozer we got out on the field, that is the one and only dozer that we'll be using here today, and that's already there when we start, so I did not build that. I'm not breaking any rules here. Okay, on with the battle. So got our power plant, just got our supply center on the go now, and we're going for the control rods. So then we can have extra power for these EMP Patriots. So the key to Granger here is getting enough defense and getting enough bait for his attack. So it's about maybe 4.5 minutes in roughly that he'll start his attack. He'll say ready or not, here I come, and then that's when you know that he's about to make a move. And he'll start with his own Ranger drop. So he'll do Ranger drop and maybe some Comanches to begin with, and then he'll bust out the King Raptors, Aurora bombers, and other planes as well. So with one dozer, all I can do is just keep building up those EMP Patriots and then hope that I have enough to get me by defensively. Beautiful. So that's two down, and we're going for a barracks next. And you're probably thinking, okay, well, why on earth are you building a barracks right in front of where your Patriots are? This is not how you should be building your stuff. And the reason why we've done that is because, one, I want the upgrades, capture upgrade for oil derricks, flashbangs. He does garrison some buildings, but the other thing is I did say we need bait. So if you were to build, just build Patriots for the whole 4.5 minutes worth of prep time, he would kill you. You would lose your base. It would be all over. So what we're doing instead is we're balancing the EMPs with barracks to use as bait. Now with the barracks, it's going to spawn 2 Rangers, so that's how I'm going to be able to get my oil derricks for 1. But if I was to also lose the EMP Patriots, I would get 3 Rangers out of those 2. And the command center as well is like 10 Rangers if that's destroyed. So we got a lot of Ranger opportunities here if we do lose a building. But I really don't want to lose my command center. The command center is sort of like the heart to my strategy here. So much so that I am going to build another command center. So this is pretty much just going to be like a command center meat shield type of strategy here, where it's going to be bait, but it's going to be strong bait. See, the 2 barracks that we got out on the field in front of those Patriots, that's kind of bad bait. That barrack scaffold, that's also a bait, and it is good bait. So that one there is good bait because the planes will take longer to get into my base and hit that barracks there, which means the Patriots can get more shots off on his planes.
Birds away. Let's go hunt some dozers. You don't mind if we drop in, do you, General?
Yep, so here comes the Rangers and the Comanches. So we're prepared to lose the barracks, that's fine. And another reason for those Rangers that are spawning is we can use those to counteract his Rangers as well. And since they're flashbangs, since my Rangers have flashbangs, they're going to be able to do a bit more damage. So now this is really just a case of trying to hang on for about 5 minutes. He sort of drops it, he drops his attacks down a little bit, maybe 9 to 10 minutes in roughly. So if we hang on for a little bit, we can beat him. See how that King Raptor was trying to go for that barracks in the corner? There's another one. So we lost that barracks, which is fine, but it did mean that the Patriots would have more opportunity to shoot it. Now, that King Raptor did get away, but other times where I've done this battle, his planes have gone down. And he went very early on the Aurora bombers, which was a big surprise. He doesn't normally he doesn't normally bust them out so soon.
They're attacking our base. Made in the US of A.
So yeah, as you can see, Granger's now prioritizing the command centers, and I don't have a lot in the way of defense, so the PDLs of his King Raptors are going to be able to counteract the Patriot missiles that I'm using against him. So I need to overwhelm the PDL with excessive Patriots to destroy the King Raptor.
All finished. New construction, making repairs.
But I also gotta keep those command centers
Good area.
good on health. So it really is just a juggling
Always
act.
prepared. Our base is under attack. Yeah. Keep 'em busy. Made in the US of A.
So yeah, you'll see me do this a few times. I'll build like a Patriot and then I'll put out another Patriot scaffold. That's just so I can counteract those stealth fighters that are now coming. Now I did lose one of my command centers, which does give me a lot of ranges now to play with, and that's kind of a good thing. More so for the Comanches side of things, because I can use those to act as bait for the Comanches, so I could lure them to the EMPs, and then the EMPs can pick them off. Now, since I only have the one command center, that does mean that his planes are going to aim for that command center until it's dead.
Ready for action.
So
Heading out.
pretty much I need to get enough defense going and then build another command center, so then I can get both of my command centers to be adequate meat shields.
General, our base is under attack. Bring on Chaplain. Yeah, our base is under attack. I'll build it. Let's build. I'll build it. Go away, point out. Take a position. Lay the foundation. Bring on Chaplain. Bring on Chaplain. Head out. Special forces here. Always ready. Ready for action. Yeah. Make my own move.
Yep, so his attacks are starting to wind down now, and I'm pretty happy with the 3 EMP Patriots that we got left. That's going to be adequate defense to counteract whatever planes he sends out now. So I want to try and advance my tech tree, which is why we're going for War Factory next.
All finished.
So with War Factory, we can then go into Strategy Center, and then we can get some particle cannons on the go here. Now, here's one big issue with Alexander versus Granger. As you see, I'm still rank 1. If I was playing as like Laser General, I should be like rank 4 or rank 5 by now.
Our base is being
But the
attacked.
problem with that is the EMP Patriots aren't generating the EXP that a laser turret would. Because the EMPs are disabling the enemy vehicles, they're not really destroying those vehicles and generating that EXP that I desperately need.
Need a point, man?
And that's the difference. Like with that, it means that I've got no access to the A-10s, no Spectre gunship or fuel air bomb, none of that. So I sort of have to
Army's elite.
force my way into getting these rank ups, and the only way I can do that is if I can get those particle cannons on the go here.
Search and destroy.
So if we get particle cannons, then we can use them to destroy his buildings and then rank up that way.
Search and destroy. Rally point confirmed. Our base is under
And
attack.
as you can see, we've got a boatload of rangers, and they're just luring those Comanches out. The command center can also be a bit of a lure for the Comanches too.
Going up. Special forces
Now, I
here.
did send a few rangers into his area. I thought maybe I can take the fight to him, but there's Comanches in the village too. And I was like, my odds probably aren't good here, but we'll try it anyway. And yeah, the aim was just to flashbang some of his garrison buildings.
Upgrading to
That
new
way I
supply
could get
line.
that EXP that we need.
Any more projects?
Unit
Yep, so we
lost.
finished building one more EMP. That was just so I've got a little bit of defense for that particle cannon if he does any attacks directly from the right.
Unit lost.
What's the story? Want to make some improvements? Any more jobs? Keep busy. Go up. Arms elite. Grab the point confirmed. What's the story? That one's done. We're not shadowing.
Unit lost.
Always ready. That one's done. Good job, Tony. Locked in. On the job. We're not shadowing. That one's done. Good job, Tony. Yeah. Sorry, I can't build it. Can't build it, sir. What's the story? Food area. Anyone on the job?
Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete. Unit lost. Particle cannon ready.
Armies under attack.
Yep, so we just used our satellite scan. We just want to take a peek at where the dozers are and how many that he's got. Now, normally Granger has 2 dozers out on the field. Other generals, they have like specific number of dozers out. So, for example, like Kwai has 3, Alexander would have 2, Ling can have like 4. So yeah, just very specific numbers for certain generals. But in this case, Granger 2. Now, I do have my particle cannon ready, and I haven't decided on what I want to do yet. So I'm holding off for now. And then I've thought to myself, well, we're not exactly ready on our big move against Granger. So I thought, let's attack the airfields. That can generate some EXP for us, and we'll also get in a couple of power plants. So we want to try and force that issue and get the rank ups. So if we can get to rank 3, ideally, then we can get access to the A10 strike, and then that's just one extra weapon that we can use against Granger later on. So you could be thinking, why didn't you just hold off and do like a double particle cannon on his command center and then particle cannon the dozers? See, that's one thing that, like, don't get me wrong, that is a good move, but it's not a good move for me at this current stage of the battle, because if I did that, Granger would send every unit he's got into my base, and I wouldn't have enough defense to counteract every single plane. So that's why we're not going for his command center and dozers just yet. We're just damaging his planes, and then we'll get to the command center later. Another thing is, when he does lose his command center, the less airfields and planes he's got, the better, because he'll have less to send at me when he goes all in on his attack. So there is a method to the madness here.
Yeah.
Advanced training is complete, sir.
All finished. Made in the US of A.
Yep, since his power's down, we did send an A10 strike to go for the airfield furthest away. That one's got the Aurora bomber, and again, just farming for EXP. I did sell off one of my EMPs so then I could build another particle cannon. The more particle cannons, the better here. That way we can just pick off Granger that little bit faster. And yeah, as you can see, he's got like 2 airfields. And another thing to also consider, the strategy center and the barracks are like the triggers for him to call in aircraft carrier Olympia. So by calling in aircraft carrier Olympia, he'll get some other planes as reinforcements. So if you can pick off as many airfields as possible, then those reinforcements aren't going to amount to much for when he does his big attack
Special
later.
forces here. Search and destroy.
Something for
Particle
everyone.
cannon ready.
Provisions en route.
So right now I'm trying something that will probably get my Rangers killed, but I put the Rangers inside the Chinook and I decided to put it in the village. Now I could have gone a little bit closer to the buildings because I did put them at a greater risk of getting shot by the Comanches, but I thought if I try this, then I could be able to pick off a building or two with the flashbangs. So I lost half the Rangers there. We did flashbang one building, but that building plus the other 3 Rangers are going to go down. So I got the Chinook to go back to main base, and then we can move on to the next part of the game, which is building some new power plants. So 4 particle cannons are going to eat up 40 power, so I got to be able to have enough power in reserve in case he does aim for those reactors.
What's the story? Made in the USA. All finished. Let's build. Let's play boys. Bring on scaffolding.
Particle cannon ready. Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete.
Keep safe. Hey, take out the missile. Good job, buddy. They're taking our base. They're getting to the finish.
Upgrade complete.
What's the story? That one's done. All right, let's go back,
Okay, now we're about to go in on the attack. So I go for A10 on the airfields plus one of his dozers. Now I'm just looking around the map for his other dozer as well. And at the time I thought, okay, he's only got the one dozer out. So we go for some particle cannons. And we got one going for that command center just now. And then I spot the other dozer, so we use another particle cannon on the airfields and the dozer. So notice now he's only got 2 airfields remaining, so when he does lose his command center and he does start to attack me, he won't have as much to work with when he goes in for that big move. And yeah, he did manage to pop out a dozer just in time, and I was just able to pick the right target with my particle cannon. So I couldn't quite aim it the way I wanted it to, because I was going to go for one of his airfields, but in any case we took out the strategy center and a bunch of power plants, so it's not like, it's not a total loss, but it does mean he's still got 2 airfields to use against me. So now we just gotta wait on the next batch of particle cannons to be ready and we can finish him off pretty much.
They're attacking our base. Have a job for me. Keep them busy.
And yeah, just look at how much damage he's doing. Like, despite the fact that I reinforced my defense, I mean, my command center is nearly dead there, but I do have the spare one just in case. Now, here's when the Rangers actually serve a purpose besides bait. See, his units aren't going to attack my units, they're just going to run. Now, I think they're probably going for, like, my command centers, maybe? Not sure what his target is, but basically my Rangers are going to pick off everything he's got.
Always prepared. Heading out. What's the story? Going up. Bring on the scaffolding. Made in the
And yeah, with the dozer we just get a couple of bait scaffolds whilst we build the real EMP Patriot to reinforce our defense.
Need a point, man?
And he's doing it again, he's got more rocket troops and Rangers to work with, and my Rangers are just going to pick them all off one by one. Now the EMP Patriots, they're not the most accurate when it comes to destroying infantry, so this is why the Rangers that I've got are very, very helpful.
Done.
Particle cannon ready.
Have a job for me? On the job.
Now, on with the particle cannon. So it's got a few power plants and
Cannon
a
activated.
couple of airfields. Now, this particle cannon I absolutely butchered. I thought that I'd be able to destroy the power plant with that amount of particle fire, but it didn't work out, and then I gave up and I went for the power plant that was intact. So yeah,
Any more
that was not my finest moment with the particle cannon, but I still got another 3 on the way. Plus I've also got rank 5 now, so it's not too big of an issue. It's just it'll take slightly longer to beat Granger. So now we go in for the Ranger drop. So I did a Ranger drop inside the village. Now I was confident that he didn't have any more Comanches because he would have done that big attack on my base. So I thought, okay, well, let's try and flashbang the buildings. That way I could do A-10s, fuel air bomb, Spectres without as much resistance from him. And it also gives me a better view of the map from that midpoint. So yep, A10 on supply center, pretty standard. And then seeing what he's got left.
Particle cannon activated. Particle cannon ready.
Couldn't quite get that Comanche, but it doesn't matter. So we're just going to use our remaining particle cannons to finish him off, and that is how I beat General Granger without building any units. If you enjoyed this one, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I do have a playlist with much harder challenges if you want to check that out. I'm Crackler, I'll see you next time. Bye.
You are victorious.
I guess it's time for me to go find a good airline job.